From the Cronkite studios in downtown Phoenix, this is Cronkite News.
Hello and welcome to this special edition of Cronkite News. I'm DEVIN CONLEY. Thanks for joining us. From borderlands to business, from education to law enforcement, our Cronkite News staff works in teams to deliver news to specific topics on interest to Arizonans. Tonight, we highlight some of our top stories on the sustainability beat, stories about protecting the environment and creating new energy opportunities for our state.
A new study from Wallet Hub ranked about 100 cities in the country on how green they are by looking at environmental quality and the sustainability of transportation and energy sources. Phoenix and Tucson came in the middle of the pack on the list, but some other cities didn't fare as well. Scottsdale ranks number 68 and Mesa takes the 85th spot. Glendale hit 93 on the list. Chandler is number 95 and Gilbert is second to last at number 99.
It's one of the most controversial topics of our time, pitting believers and deniers against each other. But in the past few months, the U.S. has seen near record highs in the percentage of Americans who believe there's strong evidence of global warming.
I think there's very strong evidence, and I've actually thought that way for many, many years.
Larky Hodges is in agreement with most of the country when it comes to views on global warming. According to the national surveys on energy and the environment, 70% of Americans say they believe in global warming, up 10% from this time last year, and just behind the record 72% in 2008.
Based on how compelling the science is, how people are seeing things, whether it's, drought or extreme weather, they see on a worldwide basis that this is an issue that people are concerned about.
The survey asked respondents to indicate which factors had a very large effect on their beliefs. The top three categories were severe drought, diminishing glaciers, and extreme weather events. State climatologist Dr. Nancy Sellover says even though we are in a 21-year dry period, these factors aren't a sure sign.
The longest drought that we know about lasted almost 60 years, and it was 800 or so years ago. We didn't have an increased amount of carbon at that point in time, so we can't necessarily blame it on that. So it's really hard to try and pin any particular weather event on a larger scale long-term climate situation.
Sellover says noticeable weather changes might still be a long way off.
We are seeing not necessarily evidence of extreme events, but continuously warmer temperatures.
In looking toward the future, Hodges says this is an issue that requires everyone's support.
People just have to look past the partisan politics and say what's best for me and my children.
Barr says the survey was released at a perfect time, just a few months before the World Climate Summit in Paris this December.
Northern Arizona University is built as the first university to install a solar-powered heating system, and it's following a national trend towards university sustainability. Cronkite News reporter Ebony Johnson took a closer look at the university's plan. Ebony?
Northern Arizona University is treating natural gas-fueled heat with a solar thermal technology. It's the first to be used on a university campus. It's called the Solar Thermal Hot Air Heating System, a long name for what creator Michael Corden calls a simple heating process.
Bring in air in the backside bottom. We bring it in through this special manifold we've designed to make the air flow evenly across the entire surface of this panel. It goes out through a similar design manifold and comes out the back.
The new technology is helping the Northern Arizona University Lumberjacks make their mark, honored by Arizona Forward as the most innovative school for energy and technology.
I want to be able to ride the momentum and continue doing awesome projects like this that really get NAU's name out there within the sustainability world.
Jessica LAZOR is the chair of Green Fund, the group that funded the solar heating project. The goal? To reduce the use of natural gases on campus.
Just by using solar energy, they offset our natural gas use and reduce our emissions by 3 metric tons of CO2 a year.
This wall-mounted 6-panel system stands 8 feet tall and 24 feet wide on the south side of this NAU warehouse, with the sole purpose to heat this building 6 months out of the year, reducing the university's carbon footprint. But the benefit may reach beyond the university. Corden believes these thermal panels can help the public in a more efficient way.
We are very interested in preventing people from freezing to death in their homes. So if we can take this very effective solar technology to them with some assistance we'd be just thrilled to do some good in our own backyard.
Solar Thermix hopes donations may eventually fund a plan to put these units on tribal lands to help the elderly keep warm in the colder high country winters. One panel costs about $1,000, but it can heat 1,000 square feet. That's why Cordan says this new technology will pay itself off in time. In the broadcast center, Ebony Johnson, Cronkite News.
For years, scientists and environmentalists have focused on reducing carbon dioxide emissions, but new technology shows that what can't be reduced could actually be removed. AUDREY WEIL shows us that some of the leading research in CO2 removal is happening here in Arizona.
The Center for Negative Carbon Emissions at Arizona State University is working on air capture technology, which is exactly what it sounds like, a way to capture existing CO2 directly from the air.
We developed materials which have the feature that they can bind CO2. So they are a little bit like leaves on a tree. As the air blows over those surfaces, the CO2 attaches itself to it.
The materials work on a moisture swing, attracting CO2-filled air when they're dry, and then separating and releasing an enriched concentration of that CO2 when they become wet. The enriched CO2 has several uses, like feeding algae.
Those algae could then be used to make biofuels, and that's part of the idea there. So you could have fuels without taking petroleum.
The center's goal is to counterbalance the current 400 parts per million of CO2 in the atmosphere. But Lackner says the focus still needs to be on reduction first, leaving removal as a backup plan.
In some ways, air capture is the capture of last resort. If you can't think of any better way, you have a guarantee that you can do that. And I think that's why it's so powerful.
But the idea is still new, and technology is not yet commercially available.
Air capture is not a technology which is on the shelf, but it's also not so hard that we couldn't do it. It's something which is recent in its development, but give it a few years and the technology will be demonstrated.
And when it is demonstrated, it could have a big impact.
And if we were able to create a system where you could pull carbon dioxide concentrations out of the air, make a saleable product, I think you're benefiting your environment, you're benefiting your economy, and you're benefiting your community with all the things that you're doing.
The center isn't the only place interested in air capture technology. Other companies across the country and even around the world are looking into similar ideas. But the Arizona Department of Environmental Quality says as far as it knows, none of these technologies are on the market yet. In Phoenix, AUDREY WEIL, Cronkite News.
We live in a world where our resources are limited, so we resort to recycling. But the industry is facing challenges. Cronkite News reporter Alicia Leonage tells us how improved recycling habits can help the environment and the economy.
According to the federal government, the U.S. recyclable rate has stalled at 34% since 2010. Meanwhile, bales of recyclable materials continue to lose value, all because of our own bad habits. Sorting, sifting, and separating. About 350 tons of waste materials venture through a series of conveyors and are organized into piles at the Waste Management Recycling Facility in Surprise, the end product resulting in stacks of bottles, paper, cans, and other recyclable materials. But that's not all these workers discover. Plant manager Jose Herrera comes across things like animals, electronics, and more. Items that might no longer be wanted, but aren't recyclable either. Even though they are sorted by machines and by hand, some still sneak by.
They really compromise our processing, either by jamming some of the equipment, causing damage to the equipment, like ripping bales, broken equipment, or basically even as dangerous as fires.
And Herrera says when the unwanted items get through, the value of the recyclable bundles declines, but taking extra time to sort comes with its own cost.
By slowing down the system, it creates additional recycling costs.
Some of these items don't even belong in this bin, but this one item could contaminate an entire load of recycling.
It increased costs, which end up being passed along to our customers.
Yet Cogborn says one of the ways to prevent this is to
make sure that you know what's acceptable in your recycling program and that you're putting the right materials into your bin.
There are 3 basic points to remember when recycling. First, recycle cans, cardboard, plastic bottles, and paper. Second, keep your recyclables clean and dry. Do not include liquids and food. And third, either reuse those plastic grocery bags or return them to the stores. In the media center, Alicia Leonage, Cronkite News.
It's a new step in sustainability. The city of Phoenix wants to turn trash into art, and it's looking for artists to find beauty in waste. Cronkite News reporter ELENEE takes a look into the program.
As many as 3 artists will be placed at a transfer station on Lower Buckeye and 27th Avenue. There are endless possibilities when pairing an artist with a load of trash that they can use. Local artist BETH Shook collects furniture parts to create her artwork.
My work is about a narrative and about a story, and we talk about seeing things differently, and every piece of furniture had a story. And to incorporate that story into my story is part of why I use it again.
Recycling and reusing materials is the goal for the Artist in Residency pilot project, part of the Reimagine Phoenix initiative.
So the hope with this project is that artists can add another layer to that conversation by showing what's possible, that cardboard is in fact paper and can be used.
The artists in residency have 4 months to go through all of this trash and create artwork with what they find.
I'll come to the studio and there will be, bedposts leaning up against my door someone was going to throw away.
Another man's trash is an artist's treasure. The artists will have a large supply of different materials they can pick up from the waste transfer station.
Typically on an average day, we'll see cardboard, plastics, tires, all kinds of metal, a lot of garbage.
Shook would be happy to live next to a lumberyard for wood, or a place that would give her endless supplies.
It would be exciting to be able to have that resource, to always know I have this resource, because it's amazing what sparks an idea. When you pick something up and you see the edge of a curve and you think, oh my gosh, and it sparks this idea, the inspiration to move on and the motivation to create.
The application deadline for artists is this Friday the 30th. After 4 months of digging through trash and creating art, the work will be displayed at City Hall or another venue. In downtown Phoenix, ELENEE, Cronkite News.
Phoenix schools are taking a stand in water conservation. Cronkite News sustainability reporter Ebony Johnson takes a look at what the Washington Elementary School District is doing to help. Ebony?
According to the city of Phoenix, the volume of water used by school districts in the city dropped 18% between 1990 and 2012. But if other schools followed in Orangewood Elementary's lead, the cost could decrease even more. Each day at Orangewood Elementary, just over 1,000 boys and girls drink, wash, or flush. Now, Washington Elementary School District has signed a 15-year contract with Mid-State Energy with a goal to reduce water use and utility bills at Orangewood and other schools by replacing regular restroom hardware with high-efficiency equipment.
We can do 2 good things by focusing on conserving water and energy in our district.
City of Phoenix Water Department spokesperson Stephanie Bracken says the city is proud of the district's efforts.
Well, the city thinks it's great that the Washington Elementary School District is really stepping up and conserving water. Anytime our residents, businesses, or even school districts can help us conserve water in the long run, it's great for our water supply.
The district has renovated almost all of their schools, including Orangewood Elementary, which is one of the few sites that includes new hardware plus added irrigation control.
We installed high-efficiency toilets, high-efficiency urinals, and also high-efficiency faucets, which all of them reduce the consumption per use. We also included irrigation controls.
It's taken 2 years for WESD to replace 322 toilets, 99 urinals, and 371 faucets in 28 out of the 32 schools in the district. Kramer says the long-term goal is simple.
We would like to be leaders in this, and we'd like other school districts to follow suit. As I said before, the sheer number of acreage that school districts have around the state is enormous. And if everybody contributed like we do, we think we can make a real positive impact on Arizona's water consumption.
The lease agreement meant no more than larger expenses for the district, and now it has reduced its bill by more than $200,000 over 14 months. The district expects to save even more in the coming years. In downtown Phoenix, Ebony Johnson, Cronkite News.
Schools in Arizona are teaching students sustainability through gardening. Cronkite News reporter ELENEE explains how they're doing it. School gardens
are on the rise in Arizona, with 22 schools already certified and 8 more waiting to be approved. I traveled to Tucson, where one school had many components to their garden to help their students learn. A coop of chickens, an aquaponics system with tilapia, and rows of vegetables are only a few things that Monzo Elementary has at their garden.
We've got a large composting area where we compost all of the food waste from the school. We're composting about 50 pounds of food waste a day.
The school is stepping up in sustainability by having a compost area, gathering rainwater, and harvesting their own produce.
It creates that circle, being able to live off the land, and that's what a lot of the schools are trying to teach their kids.
85% of the water that is used in the school gardens is harvested from rainwater, which is stored in this tank. The rainwater is used for their produce, and that produce goes into the cafeteria for lunch at least 5 times a year.
First time it was like crazy. Everyone was like rushing to go in the cafeteria because it looked so good.
The last garden to cafeteria harvest was a pesto sauce, but 5th grade student Luis Egurola was skeptical about trying it.
I was like, what was that? And then once I tasted it, I'm like, oh, this is good.
After learning about the garden in school, Egurola says he wants to have a garden when he grows up.
From school, it's been a great experience because it helps us think about our future.
Thompson says the garden is still growing and that he is hoping more will be done with integrating the academics. There are 4 steps to getting certified to bring food into the cafeteria. First, submit an application, then create a food safety plan and a garden map, and then request a site visit. In Phoenix, ELENEE Dow, Cronkite News.
Many small towns and rural parts of Arizona don't have access to fresh produce. It has to be imported from larger cities. The town of Ajo decided to take matters into its own hands. As Angie Schuster reports, the town is planting the seeds for success in their community.
The Get Going, Get Growing 4G initiative in the small town of Ajo helps provide people with healthy and fresh food options, such as this eggplant or pumpkin that can be found in the community gardens.
Ajo is a town of 3,300 people in southern Arizona, a town often overlooked by those who drive through it. Get Going, Get Growing, or 4G, has helped plant multiple gardens around Ajo, improving residents' access to locally grown food and promoting healthy eating. Eric Ecker is one of the interns for the program who maintains the gardens.
We got the one supermarket and then that's pretty much it. So if you want to buy organic and everything, before all this came to be, there was not a lot of options. You had to drive to Phoenix or Tucson or something.
Now this once food desert has grown into an organic food paradise, ripe for the picking.
It's really cool for a lot of people being able to plant stuff and then harvest it and eat it on their own.
The food grown in the community gardens is sold at a local farmer's market,
going to market tomorrow,
donated to the food pantry, and used in the elementary school's cafeteria. Families can also have their own plot to grow on.
Growing it yourself, it tastes better, and you get your hands dirty, and you actually know what you're putting in. You know what kind of seeds, where they came from, and how to plant it. Nowadays, we don't know where our food comes from.
The interns are paid for their work as part of Ajo's workforce development program.
We have youth that maybe see the only path to success as escaping, getting out of Ajo. And so we're really looking for ways to build the local economy, to encourage entrepreneurs.
I've learned a lot of valuable skills. Maybe if it doesn't come to fruition in a job, it's at least something I know now and something I could do on my own at my own home.
The 4G program is geared towards 16 through 24-year-olds and is designed to help them learn job skills that aren't normally available in Ajo. In Ajo, Angie Schuster, Cronkite News.
29 bighorn sheep now have a new home in the Catalina Mountains north of Tucson. The release was due to a partnership between the Arizona Game and Fish Department and the Bighorn Sheep Society. Reporter Julia Thatcher was in Tucson to see the release firsthand.
I'm standing at the base of the Push Ridge Complex in Tucson, Arizona, the location of the third and final release date set by the Arizona Game and Fish Department and Bighorn Sheep Society, all in an effort to release bighorn sheep back into an area where they once thrived.
25 years ago, these mountains were once packed with bighorn sheep.
The old-timers remember it well and do so with a gleam in their eye.
And now, once again, thanks to the Arizona Game and Fish Department and the Bighorn Sheep Society, new generations can see these animals back in their old home. The two departments captured the sheep near Yuma over the weekend.
For years and years, there wasn't any sheep left in the Catalinas. Nobody knows why. This effort is to reestablish that herd.
It started early in the morning, the drive out to the area where the sheep would be released. Loaded on a trailer, workers from both departments prepared to open the doors. The first release and the sheep scattered. Onlookers waited patiently as the trailer got turned around for the second release. The doors opened, but the sheep didn't want to be in the rain any more than we did. With a bit of coursing, they were off.
Game and Fish is committed to restoring native species to their home ranges wherever possible, and that includes non-glamorous species like Chiricahua leopard frogs and Gila trout, in addition to charismatic ones like bighorn sheep. That's what we do.
Now, this was the third and final planned release date. However, all the sheep were outfitted with tags and electronic collars. Those collars send a series of 4 updates throughout the day to the Arizona Game and Fish Department so that they can collect research. Those collars usually last for about 2 years, and once the batteries die, the collars simply fall off. In Tucson, Arizona, Julia Thatcher, Cronkite News.
Bats have gotten a bad reputation as one of the things that go bump in the night. But Bat Week is here to change that. Elizabeth Blackburn reports.
Bat Week brings together government agencies and private organizations to help bring more awareness about these winged mammals.
Bats are not blind. They're not going to get stuck in your hair. They're not going to drink your blood. Bats are actually very intelligent animals.
Bats are actually important around the world, says Jonathan Reichard with the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, partially because of what they eat.
You eat a huge amount of insects, and so having them in our ecosystems is really important, and they help balance healthy ecosystems, maintain healthy forests and wetlands.
The experts said that without bats eating insects, our food cost would likely be higher and air quality lower.
Corn and cucumbers and peaches and anything you can imagine that we eat, some insect eats too, and a lot of those insects have a night flying part of their life cycle.
And Rob Mai says Arizona has the highest species diversity of bats of all of the states.
There's insect eaters, there's bats that eat scorpions, they're called the pallid bat. There's also nectar feeders as well. So they come to cactus at night and pollinate.
Despite all the good bats do, Leslie Sturges says bats have a PR problem.
There's really nothing a bat can do to you, and just leave them be and enjoy the fact they're out there all night long, flying around, these tiny animals flying around in the night sky, just eating insects, like helping us, and they don't even know it, and we need to appreciate that.
Reporting in D.C., I'm Elizabeth Blackburn, Cronkite News.
The amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere has increased by over 40% since the Industrial Revolution.
The excess of CO2 gets absorbed by the oceans, which leads to several problems.
Cronkite News sustainability reporter Steve Dent is in the broadcast center to show us how the natural sport of surfing is trying to change its ways.
Most people never get the chance to see how a surfboard gets built because of the toxic fumes and chemicals involved in the process. Earth Technologies, a surfboard manufacturer out of Los Angeles, allowed me to see how they crafted an eco surfboard from start to finish as the surfing industry attempts to take sustainability for a ride.
The sport of surfing relies on taking care of the environment. But something has to change for surfing to become sustainable.
If we don't take those steps that we need to take to protect our ocean, we're not going to have a playground to play in.
The oil spill in Santa Barbara last May closed down several California beaches. Increased carbon dioxide in the atmosphere has led to ocean surface temperatures and sea level rise being at an all-time high.
It's a pretty sad picture. And all you have to do is order an EcoBoard to do your part.
The traditional surfboard, the iconic vehicle of an entire culture, harms the environment, making surfing unsustainable.
Surfboards are some of the most toxic sporting goods out there, and nobody really talks about that.
The typical surfboard gets built from petroleum-based, non-renewable polyurethane foam, then gets coated with layers of toxic polyester resin.
Yeah, you open the bag, I'll put it in.
E-Tech makes eco-friendly surfboards that help reduce the life cycle carbon footprint of a board using technology and science.
Come on! There we go.
Ryan Harris begins with an expanded polystyrene blank called EPS, which is 100% recyclable. Then Harris shapes the foam to look like a surfboard. E-Tech also uses bio-epoxy resin called SuperSat.
Super Sap is less toxic, making it healthier for surfboard makers. But when Ryan Harris started using the first USDA-certified bioepoxy, he didn't care that it was eco. He cared about how it made his board perform.
All of a sudden, my boards didn't break. You know, and I'm a pretty big dude, so I'm used to breaking boards.
Surfers have always kind of been eco, but they don't, except when it comes to their boards.
Fiberglass.
The Eco Project aims to reduce ocean acidification, sea level rise, and ocean surface temperatures, which affects coastal ecosystems, mainly the coral reefs, and the long-term future of surfing.
It's in our name, Earth Technologies. We are all about using sustainable materials from the earth to create a high-performance product.
If nothing changes, surf breaks around the globe will be threatened by perennial high tide as sea levels continue to rise. But consumers now have a choice. They can go green. Australian surfer Sally Fitzgibbons became the first pro surfer to win an event on an eco board. Currently, she is the third-ranked female surfer in the world. Results like this will help the eco board movement going forward, as trends have shown a trickle-down effect from the superstars of surfing to the average surfer. In the Broadcast Center, I'm Steve Dent, Cronkite News.